What it do not moved. It is your boy Tinez and Bag here for the Ravens segment, episode 2. So today what I want us to talk about here today is more of the finishings of preseason weeks 2 and 3 from both the Cowboys and Washington. I know we've been gone a little bit. As some people know in the Non Move podcast, I am a football player. I am a Division III athlete. So, with that being said, I do have to kind of move some things around and try to make the right time. But now that I'm free and I actually have that time because now camp is over, I'm now heading into season, I get that time with you guys. So, I'm excited. Bag, you have anything more to add? Because I can't be more excited, man. Season's coming up, man. And honestly, right now, the way it's looking defensively, it is looking phenomenally.
It is. And I'm glad, you got your camp and everything taken care of and your season getting ready to start just as well as the NFL season's getting ready to start. Like you said, I'm excited for it. And the defense is definitely looking solid. Week 1, next week, ready to go.
Honestly. One thing that I would say that showed out this preseason just as a whole was obviously the defense. But what really slowly started improving a lot more was the chemistry to me, and I've said this last episode, was the chemistry around the secondary, especially with the safeties lately, because by dear God, these safeties that are coming in this preseason this year, Graham, Keon Martin, dude, absolute stellars in the secondary. And then the same guy from Dallas last week, I almost forgot his name, but he's another one that absolutely has been a stellar. I think his number was 32 or 34. I'm pretty sure.
32, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man.
No, Trenton Simpson. That's not Trenton Simpson, right?
No. Trent Simpson's the outside
Oh,
linebacker.
Keandre Jackson. I think it's Keandre Jackson that you're thinking about, or
No,
Keon.
Lowry. It's Robert. Yeah, Ruben Lowry. Yep. Ruben Lowry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking about. Yeah, because Simpson, he's more in the outsides, though. We'll talk about that in a minute. But with this secondary right now, to me, I feel like what really stood out is that they are a lot more poised now. Rather than so much more attacking, I feel like they're more patient in coverage, especially when it comes to both zone and man scheme. It's not so much more of aggression and trying to get the ball out of their hands. They're actually now trying to see where this receiver is going, how their route is looking, where the QB is throwing this ball. That I'd say is probably one of the biggest things that has probably gone towards this preseason is now we're looking more for the ball and not just the player.
Right. I mean, it's the passing definitely got a lot better. We had no turnovers. I think we had one turnover in the second game.
Yes, we did.
Dallas. I think both. Yeah, I think Leary and Cooper Rush had a pick.
Yes, they did.
It was good to see both of them keep their, keep it clean this last game against the Commanders.
I agree. I think when it came to the Commanders, I think it was a lot better when it came to the passing game. I think they did clean some stuff up. However, in the Dallas Cowboys game, I will be honest, there is some things I feel like they exposed in the passing game that was very unnecessary. Very, very unnecessary. One of those being the pick of by Wester in the screenplay that I mentioned earlier. So that play to me is something where we kind of have to understand in the playbook that there is a difference between a actual playmaking play and a game managing play. That was not a play that Cooper Rush could do. Let's all be honest here. No. You're not going to fucking give a receiver a wide receiver screen when he's pressed by a one-on-one in man-to-man coverage. I'm sorry. I could not make a ball like that. That's just a terrible throw. That's just a terrible ball. It was so terrible. It threw right in the corner's hands. He completely beat over the top of it so easily. And it was one of those things where it was like, why do you put that? Why would you put that play in? Why? When knowing how Lamar is, and I'm just saying, knowing how Lamar is and what most players are going to think about, they're not going to think about the passing game when thinking about that. They're going to look more on, okay, what is Lamar going to do with a scheme like that if that play comes up again? Is he going to run it? Is he going to pass it to a different option? Is he going to, you know what I mean, run up field? A lot of those things depend. Is he going to give the ball? Because when you're talking about RPOs, a lot of that more now depends when you're talking about screens and RPOs, because now you're looking for option.
Right. And that's what I said. I was wondering why Eric DeCosta got a guy like Cooper Rush as a backup. And it didn't really make sense to me because he's not the threat to run the ball like Lamar. So
Right.
you gotta, you kind of gotta strip down the playbook and take a lot of the RPOs and turn them into more play action. And they sort of do the same thing, but they don't. You know what I mean? Because the threat of the quarterback running is not there. And it doesn't open the field up for Zay, Bateman, you know what I mean, and Hopkins. And that's why I think our offense works so well because it's the Lamar Jackson effect, right? Everybody has to stay that one extra second and make sure everything is completely red before they move. Because if you jump half a second too early,
Yeah.
that's a wrap. A wrap.
Yeah. I will say though, like besides like the QB mistakes and everything, when it came to the O line, I think their run game is great. The O line's run game, I think, is great. Our passing game, though, it's mediocre. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks a little mediocre. It looks a little mediocre, just a little bit. It's not the worst I've seen, but it's definitely not the best potential we could definitely have at all. At all. And that's just coming more towards of the amount of times we've seen the QB pressures from not even just Lowry, but not even just Larry, but fucking Cooper Rush even. By dear Lord, even when it came to screens and RPOs, this guy couldn't even throw a ball past 20 yards. I think the longest pass play I think they had in Dallas, I'm pretty sure, was about 20, 25 yards. And it was the fucking sideline route thrown in the I think it was the second or third quarter of that game. I don't know the receiver's name. I'm not sure if it was West or someone else, but I'm pretty sure his number was like 80 something. It was like 81. I know his other number had one to it, but I could not pick its name. Oh, but with that right now, I will say what really did also really improve for us, really very much so, with both Dallas and the Commanders. And I think you will also agree with me too as we move on from this. I'll let you add anything more you need to say. But I'm just going to move on a little bit from the run game. And I'll let you get to your point. Was also a lot more of the yards after contact. I really like how, even though with the offense that they're struggling on moving the ball, when it comes to getting the ball down the field, they're doing a solid job in doing so. Because, yeah, okay, maybe you can fuck up in a few pass plays, but then really give me a running back that can do 3 plays and get 2, 3 yards after contact each time.
All right.
I'll live for that any day of the week.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you have anything to add when it comes to the passing game or the run game at all? Do you have
I
any?
mean, the running game has been fine the whole preseason pretty much. So I'm not really too heavy and worried about that. Like I said, I was glad to see the passing game from the backup quarterbacks. You know, especially with Cooper Rush. I think he went 5 for 5. He went 100%. Didn't turn the ball over. I love to see that. Love to see that.
Right.
Devin Leary, not a huge fan.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's progressively gotten a little bit better. So I
Mhm.
hope that
I
just,
agree.
continues to stay, especially with the season going along. We get more practice reps when we get 10 weeks down the season, and if we need to see him in garbage time, he come out and get a few plays in and see if he looks a little bit better down the season, but not really high on him. So I'm not really looking too forward to him. But it was a good game to watch him blow. Just anytime you blow a team out 30-3, that's just a lovely,
It's a
exciting
lovely,
thing to see.
that's a lovely thing to see, honestly, especially looking at it from an not even just an offensive standpoint anymore, but even really now a defensive standpoint, just
Yep,
flying around to the ball. Like now it's like you don't even have 2, 3 guys now running to this ball. Each play I'm seeing 4, 5, 6 hats to this ball.
yep. Rally to the
Like
ball.
Jesus, I haven't seen this ball hawking since Ed Reed. This is insane. I'm sorry. And I know I'm saying that. And I know that may sound like a hot take for a lot of fans here, but I don't think our defense has became this much of, I would say, when it comes to more impacting plays
Right.
since then.
Okay. Well, we had, I don't know, I'm going to say since then because 2023, that defense was live.
Oh, yeah, but that was
That,
also because you had a lot of more veteran experience there,
very
too.
true.
You
Very
had
true.
defensive ends like Jadeveon Clowney and Calais Campbell.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
That was a very disciplined defensive line, and especially when it came to the passing game. I mean, it was one of the reasons why we were top in the run game. So, I mean, honestly, that really doesn't really surprise me. But what really makes it different here, though, and which is why I compared to back then, is these guys are young back.
That is true. Yeah.
Guys are very young. These are first,
Washington,
second
Mike Green.
year players.
Yeah,
When
Ajobo.
ended his career, who was he playing around with? The only veteran
Older guys.
around was Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis. That was it. Those were the oldest guys you had.
Right.
The rest of them were a bunch of young bucks. I mean, yeah, you had a few old corners here and there, but as far as like D line, you didn't really have anybody crazy. You maybe
Yeah.
I think we only had like one.
Yeah, these guys are pretty young. Between Washington, Mike Green, Ajobo, Matabike, he's still young. I think
Malabi
the oldest guy. I
has
think
played years.
the oldest guy up there is Kyle Van Noy, if I'm not mistaken, and
Roquan.
yeah, Roquan. Yeah, because Trenton Simpson's young. Who else? Oh, Owe.
Oh wait.
Owe, he's still about 25. This is his 5th year, so yeah, these guys are young and hungry, and now the guys in the back four, they're young. Besides just besides Jair Alexander and Marlon. Yeah,
Yeah, even then, like when you're talking about veterans, like corners. Excuse me, my goodness, I always get confused with that secondaries.
yeah,
They're very, 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 very aggressive, and to me, I feel like when you talk about those two corners, it's like okay, yeah, maybe when it comes to injury prone, I can get it, but man. This guy's playing with his college teammate. Give him some goddamn grace. He
you
won
gotta love, you
he
gotta love
won
that.
the fucking ring, dog.
Yeah, I know, man. And because it was that press conference was very funny because he said, "EDC, go get him," and then literally the
Mm-hmm.
next morning, breaking news: Jay Alexander signed a deal with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
I said, "Oh yeah, let's get it. Let's get it."
Yeah, let's get it. Exactly. And that's how it should be, Like, yeah, I
Oh yeah,
get, there may be some controversy when it comes with how he's skilled and all that. And it's like I get it and things like that. But when he's on the field, he plays good.
absolutely. And I try to tell people, I think the difference that's going to be for Alexander between Green Bay and the Ravens is in Green Bay, they needed him, right? Like that's why anytime he got hurt, they would rush him back, you know, get him back on the field as early as possible, and then he would re-injure, or re-aggravate, or because he's trying to compensate, he'd injure something else. That was the necessity for the Green Bay. They needed him. I think even as bad as our secondary was for most of the part of last season, I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be anywhere near close to that.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
The players
that's
we got.
why, like, if I look at him, like, from a chess piece standpoint, I kind of see him as, like, a Bish. Like, he's a Nice little bishop. He's not a pawn. Definitely not a pawn in the scheme, but definitely somebody that you are going to want to watch, especially when it comes to sideline play.
All right.
Like, especially if you're talking about somebody that if you put him and Mullen at nickel,
Yeah.
promise you, I promise you, no team is gonna want to slot receiver out. No team's gonna want to slot receiver out. No, I'm sorry. I can already picture it now. You're just gonna see so many people sticking. Literally, you're just gonna see people getting sticked.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like when it comes to the passing game right now, if we really keep it this consistent, I think we might have the best passing defense in the league.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, we went from worst to first
It's
last year.
like the only other team I could really see that really could beat that is Denver, of course.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's only because of PS2 and how he's been playing. I
I
only
don't.
say that because of PS2.
There's a couple. There's a couple other viable.
And Hufanga. Yeah.
No, I meant teams. I think there's a couple other teams that could possibly have the best defense as well. I think that Houston
Passing
Texans.
wise?
No, Houston Texans.
I mean, okay, maybe in the run, but in the pass,
I'm talking about overall.
that varies. That kind of varies to me because then it's like you gotta look at it then like this. Yeah, you can have a great defense in the run, but then what happens when it comes to third and long and then a receiver throws a 30-yard bomber and then a receiver catches it?
Yeah, I mean,
because let me tell you, we've seen that too many times in fucking Houston. No offense.
yeah.
I love Houston. I love Houston. Okay, I think they have a beautiful run game. I think they're beautifully aggressive. But their passing game is
I mean, I think that had a lot to do with Bobby Slowett, the offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? So hopefully now that he's gone, we can see a little bit more high potent, successful offense passing when it comes to CJ Stroud.
That's true. Especially
And
talking about field position and splitting the field. I can definitely agree with you there. Yeah, you can definitely maybe see a difference there, especially when it comes to more timing, for sure.
I mean, their O line was bad too, so you can't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got to just take it with a grain of salt. That's just what it was. They did the best they could. You know,
for sure. I can never take what that defense has out of it, though. At the same time, in tokens, though, you got to learn how to do good as a team.
no,
And
that's
that's
true.
kind of why I say it's like, why not us?
I think it can be. I mean, look. I think, like I said, I'm not the hugest Josh Allen fan, but I understand it. I respect this game. He's a good, quarterback. It's either going to be Josh or Lamar. I think one of those guys are going to win it this year. I don't know who. I think it's going to be Lamar, just my personal opinion. But I think it's time from somebody else in the AFC to win besides Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I just do. And y'all know my hot take. I don't think Kansas City makes the playoffs.
I think it is that time too. I agree. It's getting to that time because right now he's at year 7, 8?
8.
Yeah, I mean, man's is pushing veteran time now. No offense.
Well, I mean, this is just the beginning of his prime if you really think about it.
I mean, yeah, but think about it too. The average QB years is 7.
I would say no. Pat, okay.
Maybe a little more. But the average QB rate in the NFL as far as years is about 7 to 10.
Yeah, but these aren't. Pat Mahomes ain't average. Lamar Jackson ain't the average guy. These guys are gonna play. These guys are gonna play 15 plus
I'm
years.
just saying, there's one thing that hinders Mahomes. There's one thing that will forever hinder Mahomes, and I've said it once years ago, and I'm gonna say it again.
What's that?
That damn leg. If somebody, I promise you.
Tinez, just understand. Look, we've seen him play on a bum leg.
I get it.
I listen. I'm not. I'm a
But I get what
Pat
you're
Mahomes
saying.
respecter, but also low key shot taker because I will take some shots at some guys about Pat Mahomes, right? But he is a great guy. He's a
I
great
get,
player, bro.
I get,
Until we cannot see him go out there and actually still do it, I gotta still respect it.
I
So
get that. I get that, but I also want you to kind of understand where I'm getting at, and I want you to kind of think about it like this.
okay,
Think about how Pat Mahomes played, and I know you will agree with me. This was a bad playoff game by him against the Cleveland Browns.
okay, in 2020, yeah,
You
sure.
can't lie. Think about it. If our defense, I want you to just picture this from them. If our defense can play at like that, and if not better,
We just gotta get the front
I'm
four
just
home.
saying. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna leave that in your mind. I'm just gonna
But
and
listen, that's the
let me.
playbook.
I
Ever
get
since
what
2020, ever since 2020 in the Super Bowl, right? Well, when he was it 2020? Yeah, when they played Tampa Bay, that was the blueprint, right? Rush four, drop seven. If your front four can get home and disrupt that offensive line, you got them. And we
exactly.
just seen it. We just seen it again in this past Super Bowl with Philly, right? If your front four can get,
Exactly what I'm getting at now.
you
It's
know, if they
hey,
can wreak havoc, you're good.
they're playing checkers. They're not doing chess. They're not
Yeah,
playing chess. They're playing checkers.
yeah. We're just gonna come straight one right at you. We ain't gonna do like no exotic. We're gonna drop seven, keep it in zone coverage, see where you want to go. If you can't make your time, make your mind up in time, you're gonna get sacked most likely.
That's why, like, in my little hot take with this defense is like they should have Roquan as a QB spy during heavy games like that. With QBs like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, even
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts.
especially Jalen Hurts.
Because you got to think those are improvised runners,
Yep,
especially when it comes with people disrupting the pocket.
for sure.
And I'm already having the essence right now in my mind. If Mike Green keeps this pace up, if Mike Green genuinely keeps this pace up with Malabike into the season, that might be a problem. That might be a problem. Someone's got to be a QB spy because someone's going to overcommit. And the next thing you know, that pocket's going to go somewhere else.
I mean, but I just don't see how all these guys are gonna get all these snaps, right? Between
People,
Owe,
though,
Ajobe, Green, you know what I mean, Kyle Van Noy. Like these, there's a lot of guys on that defensive line
right.
that is gonna be hungry for snaps.
But you can see where I'm getting at, though, when it comes with, yeah, we can play aggressive, but we also have to stay
You got
disciplined.
discipline, yeah. You can't overcommit. You know, especially with like you said with improvising guys like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. If you just like the Lamar, if you crack that window open, they're gonna jump out with no parachute. Sure, gone. And that could either go for Kyler Murray too.
Yep.
A lot
Yep.
of people forget about him,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
If
Yep.
you just give it a little slither, just a little slither of space, especially with him, he gonna get boogie little
Especially with the way
Mighty Mouse.
his receiving core is looking right now. His skills are looking pretty nice.
Yeah,
If he gets a good O line, look, hear me out. If he gets a good O line, we might see something out of Kyler Murray again. I don't know.
that's true.
Maybe,
That's true.
maybe not.
So in the Commanders game on defense, like I know you said, and I appreciate it as well, how to rally into the tackle. Who like you said, Ruben Lowry was your guy that you
He was
really
definitely
picked
one of
up.
them in the Cowboys game, but somebody for me really in the Commanders game, dude, Keon Martin.
Yes, yes, that's lovely to see, ain't it?
Oh dear God, dear Lord, and then him and Dearness Johnson. Honestly, those two were probably like the biggest guys I would say was for Washington. Just the yards after contact, him staying
Yeah,
aggressive, staying consistent. That's what matters to me more. It's like I don't need you to be insanely crazy because we already have a good receiving back,
Right.
but we don't have a backup downhill running back.
True.
That would be absolutely beautiful.
How many running backs do you think they keep on the
I mean,
roster?
honestly, there would be no reason why you couldn't keep it at minimum 3 to 4.
Yeah, I was thinking
At
four.
most though, 5, 6.
I
Because then you
mean,
have to think practice squad.
yeah.
Your
I'm talking.
first three.
No, I'm talking about just on the 53. Not. I'm not talking about the.
Then it
Like,
would probably be 3 to 4. Because then you have to think your first three strings and a practice squad.
okay. Yeah. No, I can dig it. I can dig it. Yeah. But I'm definitely excited for the season. Oh, did you hear about the little scare about Lamar Jackson's foot?
I think I did hear a rumor saying about that, but I didn't really get too in depth about it because I thought it was a he said, she said type of thing. So I didn't really want to like hear anything unless it was from like the actual viable source.
Yeah. So he got stepped. His foot got stepped on in practice. So
Okay.
that they he didn't play the rest of that day. He took the next day off. They took X-rays and then MRIs. Everything came back. Kind of it was clear that he didn't break anything, or it was just soreness and swelling from being stepped on by a 360-pound offensive lineman, right? So, but
Yeah,
hopefully, he's gonna rest up. Be back to practice in next week or
that, that
something like
shit
that.
that shit does hurt. I can
Yeah.
say that as a defensive lineman myself. That
Oh, I
shit
bet.
hurts like hell. I've been stepped on I don't know how many times or shit even from my hands.
Especially when you got them seven studs. You get stepped on by some seven studs. Oh man,
It's over with. It's over
it's
with.
over with.
It's over
It's
with.
over with.
I was surprised I didn't even dislocate a finger yet. Very surprised. I'm like,
Hey man,
bless the Lord.
yes, keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
But no, honestly though, like when it really comes down to it, I really think like just gonna end it off here with a little bit of just expectations for this season.
Okay,
My biggest whole thing that I really just want to see is it becoming much more consistent of what we're seeing now.
okay, I agree.
So like what I'm saying is like okay, obviously I know the run game is gonna be great. We got Derrick Henry, cool, great. I just want these receivers to really make more of an impact when it comes to the passing lanes for Lamar, especially both when it comes to receivers and also offensive line.
Right.
Because I think that is one thing where, as much as I could say, I think we did good in the run game, though I don't think we definitely installed a lot of improvised options for Lamar like we did back in 2023.
I
I
mean,
was
I think we gotta show up the right side of the line. That's one
true.
thing I did notice in Falele. For some reason, Falele just cannot get out of his bad
But you
habits.
can get what I'm getting at though. Like a lot of these plays, like from last season, I saw were more not, hey, let me look for an option. And if I can't make something out of it, let me run for 10, 15 yards. Because that's what we used to see out of Lamar. That was Lamar's bag. Him trying to look for that long play and him roll the fuck out. Him just book it.
That
Where
was
you
Greg Roman. That's Greg Roman. That was the Greg Roman, Lamar Jackson. Which
yeah.
honestly, as good as he was, I don't think. I think that was a negative for Lamar.
Yes and no. Because yeah, you can say that maybe when it comes to trying to find open field in open coverage. Maybe so, because then that can lead on to more blitz calls later on in the plays. Though when it comes to passing lanes, it opens it up beautifully. Because then if
Nah,
you think about it like this,
not
it
with Greg
kind
Roman. Nah, a little bit, but Greg Roman, that was his problem. His route tree and his uh, passing concepts, he would have them too close to each. You know what I mean? Too close to each
right, yeah,
other.
that
And
is
the
true.
spacing,
That
the
is,
spacing was horrible. Like Kurt Warner called it out, right? And that's
that
I
is
seen
true. I will
I
agree
seen
with you.
a episode. I mean, a interview with Kurt. a couple years ago about it, and he was breaking it down and saying that. And another problem that he stunted Lamar's growth as a quarterback is he would not give him the keys to the offense, right?
I hear what you're saying. Okay.
Lamar couldn't come to the line of scrimmage, see something, and check out,
Mhm.
right?
I
He
didn't
would
know
send
that.
one play in. He would send one play in, and that's it.
Right. Which I normally saw as always a good thing out of Lamar, but then at the same time, it's like, yeah, you can't really do nothing if you can't audible.
And it was basically Lamar's God gifted talent that
I
he
get what
was
you're saying now.
putting on show.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I take that back. My bad.
No, no, I'm just saying. And now that he and Todd Monken is allowing him, like, yo, this is your team, this is your offense. Like, if you see something on the field that I don't see, you know what I mean? Check it out. Like, we
So
got to do
what
this
do
together.
you so then let me ask you then, what do you expect more of the passing game this season? Like what do you really want to see improve when it comes to a passing standpoint? Even though I know the passing game has already been good as is,
Right.
obviously, right? But obviously there's always something we can improve.
Just the mental mistakes, I guess, like because a lot of like Lamar only had 4 interceptions during the season, right?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to be better than what Lamar did last year. Like
True.
a 41 touchdown season to 4 interceptions. That's a 10-to-1 ratio, bro.
Yeah, it is.
That has never been done before.
Yeah, and I know
With
it's a hard question why I'm asking you. That's why I was like, how do we paint this picture here?
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's hard to do. But I mean, like you said, there's always stuff that you can improve or you would like to, you know. And I think one of the things that we need to improve in the passing game from last year is 2 things actually. The offensive penalties last year were horrible. We were
Oh,
first in
oh, fuck! Don't don't even get me started, especially with the
yes,
line.
just
Don't even
not good, not good at all.
get me
But then
grabbing water.
another thing is that we need to not run the wrong route, Rashad Bateman. Right? Like there was a couple times that Bateman ran the wrong route and it cost 2 turnovers, especially in the playoff game, right? And that's kind of what set us back to have to come back into the game in the second half of that playoff game. So those probably the 2 things I say we can clean up in the passing game to make it better. So definitely looking forward to it. Just got Zay Flowers back now. Oh yeah, Mr. Shake and Bake. Cha-chow. Get loose. Get loose. I can't wait to see what Malik Stark's gonna do. That's gonna be a pick in the first game. Pick six. Pick six. Beat him up 30-3. Oh, Trenton Simpson. Lowry had 7 sacks. Simpson had 6. Oh, whoa, where'd you go? Tinez, where'd you go? Well, it looked like we lost Tinez. And I'm glad you guys are here for the Flock Block, for the Ravens show.
I apologize. I'm
No,
going to apologize.
no, you're good, big dog. You
My
know,
fucking entire laptop like completely discombobulated, and I had to like absolutely plug the bitch back in. Wow, I felt so embarrassed. I was like, dang.
hey, look, man, technical difficulties can't happen to anyone, buddy.
Yeah, I can. I indeed. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, though, I do agree with you when it came to the Rashad Bateman part, especially when it came to more so the opportunities. I feel like when it comes to Rashad, right? I love him as our second receiver, and you know this. He's one of my favorite second receivers, and the reason why is like he's just one of those guys that you can really give an opportunity to when need be. He doesn't need to do any crazy shit. He can literally go as simple as a one-on-one press and coverage, and you can give him a fade route or a post, and that motherfucker can complete that bitch.
Yeah,
If you give him the right scheme, the right time, the right play, he'll do it.
I think Hyman Hopkins is going to help him as well.
Oh yeah, and I think DeAndre Hopkins will definitely open that a lot more for Rashad Bateman because that's really what was his bag. If we really look at more of the clips of Rashad Bateman of how he really started, he didn't really get crazily consistent as a medium receiver like it was now. He started as more of a deep threat.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
no,
that's what we're starting to see him become more consistent because he's developed. But in his early years with the Ravens, my gosh, this guy was catching 30, 40 yarders like a motherfucker.
because
And
he
he
gets
made it look
fast.
easy. He made it look easy. That's the thing. He made it look fucking easy though. If I can have a receiver that can make shit like that look easy, imagine him trying to do 20-yard fucking cross routes. I don't know,
Yeah, yeah. Catch him in stride. He's going
and
home.
that's the same shit we saw in Buffalo. Worked beautifully.
And I think it kind of hurt not having Zay Flowers in that playoff game
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it definitely did hurt, and I think that's one of the reasons why we lost that playoff game. Though I digress,
for sure.
because at the end of the day, those are excuses, and that's a playoff game. There's
Yeah,
really no excuses in a playoff game. Though, with that being said, I think when it comes to opportunities, it's definitely something that we can really improve on, especially because he is a very big piece in that passing offense. Very big. Like, and a lot of people don't really see that. And I kind of find that a little disappointing because of the fact of how valuable he truly is. If we actually really look at how he plays in his bag,
right.
very versatile in both medium to deep threat. And honestly,
Shifty too.
he is. And honestly, I can even see him next year probably being one of the better wide receiver twos.
Oh, I think by far he already is. There's no ifs, ands, or
In
buts
the
about
top,
it.
maybe in the top 10. You think so?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Who would you compare him to in that sense then? Because the only guy that I saw last year that was probably a little bit similar in the come up of him, Jawan Jennings from the
Okay, and
Niners.
for the Niners, yeah,
Because well now Brandon Ayuk is out, so he kind of has to be that number one.
true.
So that's why I say he's kind of the only guy really similar to his style of bag, at least that I have seen.
Uh yeah, that's a good comparison. I ain't right. I'm not mad at it. I can agree to that. I can agree to that.
So I mean, honestly, for me, that's really like all I really have when it comes to offense. Defensively, shit, we just gotta keep flying to that fucking ball, man. We
Yes.
just gotta keep on flying to that ball. And we gotta create more takeaways too, not even just big hits. Like I love the TFLs, I love the sacks, don't get me wrong, but we need more fumbles. We need way more fumbles. We need way more strips. I want to see people actually punching at the ball, people actually trying to make more attempts in trying to get the ball rather than just the guy.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I mean,
it's great and good to make a tackle, always great and good depending on the situation. Though, once again, when it comes to third long situations, I didn't really see a lot of attempts in those big TFLs of people really hitting the football or trying to get the football out. They were just focusing on making the tackle. And I think that's probably one thing that really could be emphasized in the next in this coming season is can we see people actually trying to make an attempt, at least a good effort in trying to get that football out.
I thought we had 3 takeaways.
They were mostly interceptions.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
They
No.
were
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That one. I thought the one that was in the backfield. That
yeah,
I thought that was a fumble, but they did say that was an interception. I forgot. You're right about that. Okay.
most of those were interceptions. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys game there was one. I'm pretty sure in Washington there was two or three.
I thought that when they got the sack on Joe Milton, I thought that was a strip sack touchdown. I may be wrong. I don't have the stats up for that game.
I have it here in my phone. Hold on.
I only have the Washington game up right now. Yeah, and they were 3 interceptions. You're right.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, yep. Um, Joe Milton sacked by Keon Martin for 3-yard loss for safety. That was the safety.
Safety. Oh, okay. That's yep. You're right. Okay, that does make yep. You're right. It was a safety.
Very different. Very different. So
Okay.
that's kind of my whole thing. It's like, yeah, we're making big plays in the right places.
Yeah.
But now we need to insituate in getting the ball out. Because then, let me put it to you like this then in rules. You take that ball out away, guess what? If it goes out of bounds, it's still a safety.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And then let's say if we catch the ball in the end zone. It's a fucking tud, bud.
That's my point. I thought that's what I thought it was. A strip sack for a touchdown.
It was safety. Yeah, no. So that's why I mean, really, that's honestly one of the biggest things I think that really could really show out during this season is actually getting that ball out. Other than that, honestly, I couldn't be any more happier of how this preseason went. It honestly went very well. I honestly still have the Ravens probably going as far as ceiling 13-4,
Yeah.
13, like 14-3.
I had 12-5, 14-3. I'm right
Yeah.
there with you.
Yep. Yeah, probably around the same. Flooring though, 11, 12. I don't
I can see that.
I don't see us getting any more than 6 losses at most.
No, I agree. I think it all depends on how the first 7 weeks of the season go for us because I think
I
that's
agree.
the toughest.
I think this and that's why I even said in last episode too, like this beginning of the next couple weeks heading into the season is what's going to show, okay, what can we do now?
Mm-hmm.
What can we open up here? What can we see for people around the both sides of the conference? So
Right.
it's really going to show what the NFL has in store for us. It's really going to show because not only do I want to see the Ravens compete a lot in the AFC, but I want them to compete in the NFC. There's a lot of there is actually some teams that I don't think we have been the greatest when it comes to competing. I know you've told me before, but I know there's like 1 or 2 NFC teams that was like, I just forgot who they were, because I know there were some that I don't think Lamar has beaten.
Talking about the B thing is
in the NFC, not AFC, NFC conference.
Eagles and Giants.
There you go. That's the one.
Yep. Eagles and Giants. So real quick, I didn't know a lot about Anita's Peoples. You know who that is? Virginia Tech, DT. He drafted him in the 6th round.
I heard the name, but I don't know the person's face. No, I've heard the name before.
Okay, because I was watching the game over again, and he was flying all over in the backfield, stopping the run, clogging up the lane. I was mad I didn't do my due diligence on him before the draft or after we drafted him because I was just so excited about Mike Green,
Oh yeah,
and John State Webster and all those guys. So he fell under the radar for me.
I mean, hey, when it comes to guys like that, some of it's going to happen though. At the end of the day, when it really boils down to this season, I just really want to see, can these guys really show what they've shown in preseason?
No, for sure.
Because now it's like, okay, we seem like we're hot shit. We've turned chicken. We got chicken salad. Now can we put the dressing on?
Yep.
You know,
Finish it up. Let's
So we
finish
put
it
the
up.
croutons on. We put the fucking chives and onions. You know what I'm saying, bag?
Yeah, man. We hungry. I feel you. We gotta finish the meal so we can eat.
Like, I
Yeah.
want a good salad here, man. I want a genuine good fucking bowl of salad.
Hey, let's get it. Can't
Anyways,
go wrong.
that's the end of this week, y'all. We'll tune in after the first preseason game. I'm gonna be excited.
Boy, you ain't lying. And wait till the podcast after that, because when we catch that dub and get that revenge, not even revenge, but when we beat down on Buffalo, up in Buffalo,
oh boy.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna talk my ish. You heard me.
All right, y'all. You have a blessed one. God bless. Stay tuned as always. And as always, we are Not Moved Podcast.
Not moved at all.
God bless.
Yeah.